Hi, Genki Call here with the Soulforge for the week of October 3rd, 2021. We have a couple of exciting troops in here today. First, let's go over these early ones. The Autumnal Imp is one of the seasonal imps that you can only get during this time of year. So he does scatter damage and destroys 10 gems. Destroy, meaning that he'll take it from the board as if it was matched. And then if an enemy dies, gain 8 magic. Of course, the big thing with the imps is this third trait, which will get you gain 8 magic on brown gem matches. So every time you match brown, this number here is going up by 8 every single time. So the imps are really powerful, but rarely used. And if you were going to craft one, I would recommend the Winter Imp over the Autumnal Imp because it does true damage. And you can use it with Shibanu Vespera, which is awesome. The Leviathan, I've never actually used it. Dispel all enemies. That means if you have, or if they have positive status effects, it will remove the positive status effects. Just like the Banishment trait does with Sentinel, for instance. Deals damage boosted by blue gems with a 3-to-1 ratio. So if there are 9 on the board, 9 blue gems, then you'll do an extra 3 damage. It's not a lot. And then knock the first enemy to the last position. Submerge myself on 4+ gem matches. It's an okay troop. We have things that are much better nowadays. Nimue is one of the skull converters, another that I rarely use. Transform yellow gems to skulls and red gems to purple, plus silence the 2 strongest enemies. So this is a card that's actually quite powerful, and I think I should use it more, really, to be honest, because she is pretty powerful. I like the fact she's not just converting skulls and to gem conversion, but the silencing is really useful. Would I craft her? No, I just wait till we go to Merlantis and try to get her with your event keys, but it's pretty much what I'm going to say for almost every legendary. The last one we have here is Lust, who is from the Sin of Mirage. She charms an enemy, 40% chance to transform them into succubus or incubus. She is, the incubus especially, that charms 2 random enemies, so that's actually a really bad spell. However, the reason people like Lust, and especially the reason that they put her into PvP, is this: charm a random enemy when an ally dies. And so they'll put her in a team with a firebomb, for instance, which will immediately blow up. It counts as an ally death, and she charms somebody on the other team. So Roxanne, you don't have to put out the red light on the red light. That's funny. Alright, so would I recommend any of these to craft? I personally would not, but if you need one of them to get your power level up and you have an extra 800 diamonds to spare, the diamonds are awfully hard to come by, so generally would not recommend it. As for Mythics, we have 2 in here that are really notable. The first is not this one, but let me go over it. The Voice of Orpheus is one I don't own. He does damage to an enemy boosted by all ally mana. That includes his own mana, I believe, so it can do some nice damage. It cleanses all allies, then gives all other allies, not himself, but all other allies 5 mana, and then cleanse all allies when matching yellow gems. So it's kind of like Beatrix, but not. It's, anyway. Voice of Orpheus, I don't have him. I really can't say much about him. What's really notable in here is High King Irongut. If you have any plans on going deep into delving, High King Irongut is your goblin. He does damage to an enemy, which not very much damage, but with a chance to devour equal to my attack. So when he's not in a team for me, he will have a 45% chance of devouring, which isn't great. However, you take him into a delve where you've got your horde level up, and this is going to be a lot higher. I get up to 75% chance to a maybe 80% chance. Plus, you add Metals of Seasons on top of that for an extra for a 12 attack. Or you use a troop to boost his attack, like I can see his face. I'm drawing a blank. There are multiples that can increase the attack. So sorry, my mind has gone completely blank. I will put two links in the description box below. One is a spotlight on High King Irongut, how he works, and I think I included some teams. And I also did a video on High King Irongut showing teams that you can use in PvP with him to boost that attack so that you're more likely to devour. So I'll include those in the description. If that will help you to decide whether or not to craft him, that's awesome. And, you know, steal 4 life from the first enemy when matching brown gems. If they're really low, that can kill them. So, you know, the main thing here is the devour. And check out those other 2 videos if you have any questions on him. I hopefully have already covered all of your questions. As for Mother of Darkness, she is the other notable here. Mother of Darkness became meta when the Night Spider came out. Because she is a rogue, Night Spider creates mana boosted by rogues. So you have a team with Corsair, that makes your hero a rogue. You've got Mother of Darkness, Night Spider, and the Macaw, Captain Macaw. It's just a really awesome team to use in PvP. Now, if outside of PvP, maybe not as good, and it is a slow team, but it's a very effective team that does a lot of looping. And if you have Rope Dart, that's all the better, because Rope Dart gets an extra turn. Rope Dart you cast. We are going to Pride Lands soon, so if you're missing Rope Dart, we are going to Pride Lands soon, and you will have a chance to craft that Rope Dart. So awesome. But anyway, if you have any questions on the Mother of Darkness team, I can put a video together on that. Just let me know in the comments down below. Let's see, there should be one more mythic in here. What have I missed? Seems like there should be one more. This is always here, this and this and this, always here. Zolgoth is always here. Rage Kurindara is... Oh, Hatir Skroll is in here. I didn't even notice. Oh. Alright, I'm going to put a 3rd link in the description box below because I have a fantastic Hatir and Skroll team that I absolutely love. You know, would I spend 4,000 diamonds on this? You know, I don't know, but I do adore the team that I'm using with Hatir and Skroll. I use it in PvP, and it's got about a 90-95% chance, 90 to 95% win rate. I absolutely love it. So it's green gems to purple. Yes, that says lycanthropy. Green gems to purple and yellow gems to doom skulls. You set it up with a match 4. You cast the Forest Guardian in right afterwards. It takes all of that purple on the board and turns it to skulls, and it's just a great team. I really love it. As for whether or not I would craft it, it really depends on your goals in the game. It's a niche type of troop, and I do have a lot of fun with it. However, overall, in the long run, if you were going to choose any one of these, I would absolutely go with High King Irongut, but only if you're interested in doing those delves. If you're not going to do those delves, either save your diamonds or pick a different mythic to craft. We have started a new mythic cycle in the Soulforge, so the one that you want the most could still be coming up, and so weigh your options. Those diamonds are hard to come by. So let's head into the weapons. I haven't really looked at them. I kind of glanced at them. So one we've got here is the Iranian Bloom, which I already crafted previously, and I don't think I've ever used it. I love the idea of it, but I haven't actually used it. So do damage to an enemy boosted by Zulkari allies. So if you have if you're using Orb Weaver to make your hero from Zulkari, and then 3 additional Zulkari allies, that's a bonus 24 damage it will do, plus it creates green and purple gems, and green and purple is something you're going to use a lot. It does not feed into itself, which is unfortunate, but it will feed the other troops on your team, like the Iranian Weaver, for instance, which uses purple and green. And then the Nightfall Blade, I don't know what this is. Deal damage to the last enemy. If they're poisoned, inflict 4 stacks of bleed. Huh. I don't even remember crafting this. I maybe got it from an event, but I would not spend 300 diamonds on this team personally. But 4 stacks of bleed does do 10 true damage per turn until it wears off. Just saying. Let's see. And then we've got, always here, the Dark Staff. This is one of those 75 diamond ones. Does damage to an enemy, double if there's a dark storm, and it creates a dark storm. So this could be useful in the right team. And it's only 75 diamonds, so if you need another weapon for Zul'Kari to get your power level up, this is the one I would recommend, because I could see this being useful because of the Dark Storm. There is one more here that is 75 gems. We'll get to that in a minute. Always here, always here. Dark Shot. Deal damage to an enemy. Create 5 purple gems boosted by webbed enemies. So, you know, if you're using this with, say, Matron Velen, who curses and webs on match 4s, this could be very useful, except it doesn't feed into itself, but it would feed Matron Velen, who uses green and purple. Then we've got the Doomed Potions. Don't get excited. It has nothing to do with the potions that we know. This thing has been out for a while, I believe. It is a doom. It does cost 900 diamonds. So it gives life, is what it does. And then life to all allies, 5 mana to all other allies, if it has a doom, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to craft it personally. Same with the Doomed Ram. It's another 900 diamonds. The Doomed Ram does heavy splash damage, +4 per tempering level, stun all purple enemies, cleanse all purple allies. You know, it's a niche thing and not something I'm personally interested in. I would recommend that if you want to buy a doomed weapon, that you wait for one of the dooms that creates doom skulls. Those are extremely powerful, and of course if you don't like skull spamming, then you know you wouldn't want to use that. But would I use this in just a general team? No. Maybe for Guild Wars, but personally I don't have the purple Forge Scrolls to upgrade it anyway, so that's a pass for me personally. The Book of Brambles is another that looks interesting to me. It does damage to an enemy boosted by elf allies with that ×6 boost ratio. So if you're using one of the 3 classes that makes you an elf, that's Archer, Orb Weaver, and Monk. If you use any one of those 3s, your hero will be an elf, plus any 3 additional elves. Green and purple is great for elves, yeah, especially the green, but am I going to craft it? No, I'm not going to craft it. I keep I want it. It's shiny and I want it, but I'm going to hold on to my diamonds because, you know, at some point a mythic is going to come along that I want, and I'm not going to have the diamonds because I keep spending them on weapons. So I'm going to hold back on that. I'm going to control myself and my impulses to spend. So the choker is the other one that I was talking about for 75 diamonds. If you've got to have it for Zul'Kari to get the power level up, it's a nice cheap way to do it. It removes all purple gems with no effect. That's what puts me off of these weapons. There's no effect to it except that it's going to boost the damage that you do with a 3-to-1 ratio. So if you remove 9 of them, it will do an additional 3 damage. And if the enemy is from Zul'Kari, it will do double damage. So not that interesting to me personally. There is one more thing that I want to mention, and that is tomorrow we go to Eldrazi. And while we are at Eldrazi, the Eldrazi wand will be in the Soulforge for tomorrow only. That's Tuesday. During the faction assault, this weapon will be available for diamonds. However, I don't recommend crafting it in the Soulforge because you will be able to get this with your gems in the faction assault shop. So if you really want this weapon, get it from the faction assault, not the Soulforge. But it does damage to an enemy. If they're cursed, create 8 green gems. If they're webbed, create 8 purple gems. And if you have Matron Velen with you, she does curse and web at the same time. So maybe, would you get 16 of, would you get 8 of each? I'm not sure. I have not tested that because I've never used the weapon. I'll show you the upgrades real quickly. Attack, life, magic. Attack, magic. Gain 4 life, deal 5 scatter damage, which is great for breaking barriers. Enchant myself, which is very useful. I love the weapons that do that. And then give all green allies 2 mana. So that is what I have for you for the Soulforge this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye!